We're back, continuing our conversation with Long Beach City Auditor Laura Doud. Laura, you have a major announcement to make.
We do, and we are revitalizing our fraud hotline that we'd like to announce here on your show and to tell the people how important it is to be alert and open, to keep their eyes open for fraud. We're revitalizing our fraud hotline, and this fraud hotline, the number is on our website that people can go to. We have a brochure here that you have in your hand for the people to be alert and open to fraud against the city, to make sure that they call our fraud hotline if they suspect any fraud. You know, fraud is much more prevalent than most people realize.
Really?
It really is. And the statistics show that about 48.5% of fraud within government organizations are detected by a tip. So we really need the public's help to be alert and open if they suspect fraud against the city, to call our office. And also to state that this is we have hired an independent firm that will be receiving their calls live.
Oh, really?
It will not be a message machine, but a live caller. It's completely anonymous, and they can have the confidence to know that their call is anonymous. They will have a live caller 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so anytime they can call anonymously to report the tip.
Congratulations. I think that's a sensational idea, and even the existence of it is a disincentive to people to act improperly. The fact that it's there may stop things that might otherwise happen, as well as uncover ongoing. Let's put that page up again that has the information on the telephone numbers. The fraud hotline, toll-free, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 1-888-FRAUD-07, like James Bond. And it's an outside agency that you call, and it's confidential. The caller's identity will be protected.
That's right, absolutely. And our office will be providing training to the people to let them know that there is something known as a fraud triangle, that when all 3 points exist, fraud exists. And those 3 points are when there's a need, when there's rationale, and when there's an opportunity. Fraud exists. The need is, it could happen overnight. If there's a sick child, if someone has
someone needs money.
Needs money, right.
Okay.
Or there's an opportunity. So if someone has a need, they rationalize, and there's an opportunity, fraud is very likely to happen. And what we have control over is the opportunity, that we have internal controls in place to keep people honest, and this fraud hotline that people can call to control this opportunity. So we don't want the opportunity to be there, and we want to make sure it's detected. So.
A simple example that I can think of with a lot of organizations, nonprofits, for example, or even for-profit, is signing checks. It's the practice of many companies that you need 2 parties to sign the check, so that just one person cannot get into the company bank account, and that's a little bit of a safeguard. Yes,
that's right, it is. And there's a lot of examples of fraud, skimming, taking money off the top, taking inventory and supplies out of the city, submitting fictitious reimbursement for expenses. There's a number of examples, but we have a training program that we plan to go around and train city departments and the staff and employees to let them know what they can
so they can upgrade their own internal procedures.
That's right, and what they should be looking for.
So this hotline is for tips about fraud in any city agency, city entity, any quasi-government or government entity.
That's right. That's right, for them to call.
Do other cities have this?
Yes, they do. Several other cities do. I know the city of Los Angeles just recently launched their hotline, their fraud hotline as well. And the city auditor's office has had a fraud hotline in the past. I'm just not sure it's been, really maybe marketed as well as it could have been.
Sure.
So I'm thankful for this opportunity to announce that we are revitalizing it. We want people to be aware of it and to please call. The statistics also show that about 5% of government annual revenues can be lost to fraud. And if you look at the city of Long Beach with approximately $1.5 billion in annual revenue, there's a potential for $75 million lost to fraud. We just want to make sure, we're cutting out fraud and we're cutting out abuse, we're cutting out government waste, and really trying to create efficiencies here.
Well, $75 million is a lot of money. You can buy a lot of things for $75 million.
Absolutely.
And so you can play your role if you are aware of abuse in any city agency to call the hotline. And then I'm sure there'll be an independent investigation. If the information is not accurate, nothing happens, but at least someone will, your office will look into it.
That's right. We will pursue every case, and there's just zero tolerance for fraud.
But on the other hand, we don't want to have this being used as get-evens with people who have an axe to grind, leveling false charges against agencies.
That's right, and we'll have to use our good judgment in that case. But it's important that people are aware that there is a hotline that they can call and that will be followed up on, because like I mentioned earlier, it's much more prevalent than people realize.
It's a lot more. The figures you gave me were a bit startling to me. I have to confess, the incidence of fraud. So this empowers the average citizen to do something.
Yes, absolutely.
If he or she knows about it.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be continuing this discussion, but first we pause for these messages.